Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? Welcome to Blancmas / Vlogmas / YouTube. My name is Sarah. If you're new, I'm a performer, choreographer, and this channel is about all the things that bring me joy, which right now is about speaking to other artists, because I can't just have this channel all to myself. I've got to speak to other people. And today we've got a beautiful little duo of Rebecca Davies, who I know you've had on here before. She's been a regular doing the Love Island series. She's come on with all her different characters. So you've got something old, something old and haggard. Joking, Becca. She's currently trying to get herself looking Christmassy and sticking her fingers up at me. And then we got something nice, new and fresh, because that's what the arts world always wants, is something fresh. We got Simone French. Although you got a double barrel name in there, which I will see once I can see your full name come up. Anyway, if you are here, I'm going to make sure my comments are up. If you are watching, any questions for anybody at any point, please do put them into the chat box and we will read them. Just so you know, we are about a 10-second, there's a bit of a 10-second delay, so don't get to your question straight away. We will get to it. And we'll probably have moved on to the next topic while your question asked, but the chaoticness is what we like. And that's what we thrive for. And I hope you have noticed my tree. Thank you. And my earrings. Thank you. All right, Simone, are you ready for this? Thumbs up, so I know you're ready. I'm bringing you in. 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hey, so nice to be here. Hi.
So good to have you here. I'll get your color. Can I just see what you're wearing? Please stand up. Show me what
you're yeah. I'm wearing. Well, I was wondering how Christmassy I should go, and I only want a touch of. But I'm wearing this little pinafore thing that I actually got in Margate at a charity shop, at a chazza, as I call her, at a cute chazza. A chazza, yes. And I'm wearing another little chazza number, which is like this little 70s shirt. Great color, but it makes you sweat like crazy. Awful.
I bet. And is there smell that's already in there from the people
deep? Yeah, deep in the pits. Deep
beautiful.
In the pits. Yeah.
I was like wearing like nice comfy flares, and I was like, I'll just put this jumper on, I'll feel a bit more done, but I feel a bit too relaxed. And I thought earrings.
Exactly. Can't be too relaxed. And with those earrings, it like jazzes it all up, right?
It's jazzes it all up. Got a comment from Andrew Duffy saying, Dumphy saying, hello, Sarah, I need more lights in the tree. Thanks, Andrew. That's very nice of you.
Not enough.
Yeah. The Simone French Tom Yum Sim, that's the name of your company.
Yes, exactly. Not a double barrel name. I'd love to have one, but I don't have one. No, exactly.
I was like, who's this fancy person coming? So for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Yep, cool. Well, I'm originally from Melbourne in Australia. Mm-hmm. And I'm currently living in London, which has been great. And a bit of my time has been spent also in Manchester, which has been awesome, which I really like, as they're both great cities. And what do I do? Well, I'm a theatre maker, and
you are.
and I've loved making theatre under my company, Tom Yum Sim. And we kind of do experimental, quirky, very dark, lots of satire, but some element of our work is always interactive. So we've done like so many various things, from like immersive cult-based pieces that we blindfolded the audience and they had to like reach higher enlightenment via a Scientology method. Like we've done all sorts of things.
Whoa.
And then we've also done a show at Royal Exchange that was like an immersive electronic like opera, actually, and the audience like created the music with us. They kind of conducted the space, which is cool. And then recently we've been doing more kind of text-based pieces where the audience have been engaging with us through technology, like either on a phone, on the telephone, or most recently I did a show at Camden People's Theatre where the audience were on Instagram Live and they were kind of watching the show. So it's ranged from heaps of stuff, always with a like cheeky, quirky, queer lens, but various capacities of audience involvement, I guess.
I love that. Can we talk about your Camden People's Theatre show? Because
yeah, sure.
I didn't get to see it, but it sounds incredible.
Yeah, it was a real fun thing to do, because in lockdown I kind of did a lot of work on Zoom and had been making heaps of pieces online, and I've actually made this show that I did at Camden People's Theatre completely online but live. And
Mm.
it was so it was inspired by a woman called Belle Gibson, who's a fellow Australian, bit nutso Australian, and she lied about having terminal cancer on her Instagram profile, and she like created a whole business from it. She got donations for charity, cancer research. She basically crafted this whole persona, and I thought what was the most fascinating thing about it was, why did people believe her, and was she playing a character like actors do, but in her daily life, and just living this kind of thing that ended up becoming her reality.
Mm.
And it's fascinating stuff of like, and also kind of then looking into Instagram and looking at all the stuff that we kind of get fed about pictures of perfect lives, and she in a weird way was kind of painting a picture of her perfect life, which is not the everyday perfect
No.
scenario of what people really want to be sick. But she kind of got the best of both worlds. Like, she got this whole
Sympathy.
sympathy,
Yeah.
exactly, sympathy and like validation without ever being sick. And so the show kind of borrows her Instagram method and the way she used manipulation and the call outs to audiences and things when she was feeling really down, and call outs for money and whatever. And so I kind of take that and then marry it with my own artistic practice. And the whole thing now is kind of about deception in front of the audience and what's
Mm.
real, and how far I go as Simone the theatre maker to make content that looks legit, and is it real, and am I actually doing these kind of experiments, which I do some of, but how much the audience kind of know what's real, what's not, and what's the show and what's me is kind of the blurriness. And that's kind of the fun territory that we've been playing with.
I love. And so during the show, they were seeing you create the poses, right? And then you'd post on Instagram, and they'd watch it live on their phone or on their Instagram.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I moved out of the theatre space, which was really fun, and did them all on Instagram Live, and
Hmm.
then kind of moved down the street, did some in the backstage of CPT,
Wow.
in the basement, in the window. There's like a gallery in CPT, if people know it, but it's like a little window, and I did some posters if I was in hospital there. So it was cool because you kind of got to be taken outside of the room, but then also see the kind of construction of fakery, I guess, of
Mm.
how much it looks legit on the phone, and then how much you see behind the scenes is kind of cool. And playing with filters and all of that stuff, that's like, so many times on filters, even when I was rehearsing the show, I was like, I get why people use these all the time. Like, everything
Paris
just looks
filter.
better.
I
Yeah,
use Paris filter all the time on Instagram. Like,
right.
no shame.
It's just like it's immediately eye catching, and immediately, like, I don't know, just like the production values look 10 times better on
Oh
a
yeah.
filter. It's crazy. So anyway, it's fun playing with that live in front of the audience.
I love it because we know what, these influencers, Instagrammers, we know the truth, but yet I still buy into it. I still will follow these influencers. I still, even though I know I'm a bit older, so I kind of know the truth, but it's crazy, like all the stuff.
Totally,
Yeah.
and it's designed to be really eye catching and clickbaity and product selling and whatever.
Hmm.
And we know, and it's I'm the same as you, Sarah, because I'm like, I know that. And even doing research for the show, I completely knew all these things, but I had to like be on those platforms to make content and play
Yeah.
with the form and blah blah. And then I'd still be sucked into this weird thing where all of a sudden I'm looking at something for like the last 15 minutes, and I'm like, how is this possible when I'm analyzing what I'm meant to be looking at?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm sucked into the like, whirlpool of Instagram beauty or whatever. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah. I'll find myself an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours later, and I'm still scrolling. Got a question from Andrew. He's wondering, how did the audience react? He said it sounds like a great show.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, the audience loved it. They loved the discussion afterwards of working out when they picked up things weren't real, when things didn't match up, when things were like um, completely staged, or when they thought they were genuine. And so that was really cool. And they loved the phone stuff. So there's a moment where I kind of Q&A and I asked the audience to type on the Instagram live feed. Yeah, exactly like this, like answering questions live. And obviously they're in the room and they can do that. But they really loved to kind of like mess with that. And that was kind of what we were testing, because I didn't know how far they'd take it. But people would, like, as soon as they realized they could be kind of mean and it was sort of permission in the space to like troll, people were just going for it, or they were like calling me out on stuff, or they were like, this doesn't add up, or I don't believe that you're actually in hospital, and like all these things was really fun. And then audience members exactly improvise totally of being like, and sometimes they took over a little bit because they could chat with each other, like the comments would come up simultaneously, so they'd be like, what do you think? I don't know, why do you think that? And so they were kind of talking at the same time with each other, and it was all like projected as well as them on their phones. So yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It tested me so much because I'm like in and out of like the content, the like liveness of it. But it was really, really fun and playful. And then people felt a bit weird afterwards because they're like, oh, I went a bit nasty there. And would I usually do that in real life? And like, yeah. So it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to like set that up.
How and what's happening next with it? Because I need to see this show.
I know, I'd love you to see it. Well, we're going to go into like one more kind of little finessing of it based on that. That was sort of a work in progress, but almost finished work in progress. And then it's going to have a life in April. So I'm just working out exactly where. Probably CPT will support it again. And then I'm just looking at different ways it can live, with some other venues. And and really like maybe even have a thing where people can watch it completely on the phone at home, and then people can watch it in the theatre live, and that be two kind of ways of viewing it if they're not in that place. So that's where it'll head soon.
Dreamy.
Yeah.
And how are you what are you doing for Christmas? You obviously are staying here, you're not going back?
Exactly. No, I'm not going back to Australia at all. I'm actually seeing my sister, which is going to be magical. She's lives in Singapore and has for the last couple of years, and she's coming over for Christmas, and it's massive for her because she hasn't been out of the country for the last couple of years and hasn't seen any family. I know. So it's like a bit of a reunion. I feel like for her, I kept telling her, when COVID ended, well, it hasn't ended, but when lockdown ended, it's very much still here, Simone. It's just because you're in your house and you're wearing reindeer ears that you're in La La Land. But she was like, I was like, Nicole, literally the first time you get on a bus, you'll be like, the first time I'm on a bus. And like, did you have those moments? I was like, the first time I'm on a train, like everything. I was like, the first time I'm eating and I'm not outside. Like, so I kept saying to her, as well as our like family reunion, which I'll be like, there'll be so many firsts for her because it's been very strict in Singapore. So she hasn't been able to have groups of friends over really that much, or like, things have been quite capped. So it'll be very special. I'm excited to see her, and especially in the Northern Hemisphere, which is cool.
No, in the Northern Hemisphere.
I know, so formal. It's that's when sometimes I'm like, I'm so assimilated, and then I'm like, no, it just gave it away then. Gave it away. No one noticed with the accent. No, it was so neutral. No one knew.
And Andrew's got another comment in here. He says, idea for you to try get the audience to operate the lights on their phone so you can control certain boards remotely.
Oh, Andrew, we should have a chat. That's a cool thought. Love that. I mean, at one stage I got them to put their lights on their cameras to light me so they could like film some stuff. And I kind of got them to film bits of the show and post it on their own Instagram profiles, which was sort of fun.
Free marketing.
Yeah, exactly. You know those shows that have that, like, the People Choice Award, and at the beginning they're like, let's all log on to our Fringe thing and vote for this show while we're in the midst of the show. So it was kind of like that, exactly, from a free marketing point of view. But I
Gotta do what
love
you gotta do.
right, exactly. You do. It's a hustle. So
Always hustling.
yeah,
I'm going to bring you out and bring
right.
Rebecca in, and then I'm going to bring you back for a chat at the end.
Cute.
It's been so nice chatting to you.
So nice.
I can't believe it's already been 15 minutes. What is this live? We could
I
chat all
know.
day. Rebecca, are you ready? Great, thumbs up. Well, I'll see you in a moment, Simone.
See you in a Momo.
Mama, removing. What a gem. What a gem. I've only met Simone properly once before. We're going to talk about Justin. We'll talk about Justin after. Rebecca's met Justin as well. It could be a subject that we all talk about together. Andrew's saying, I like the way you work. Well, we'll get Andrew and Simone talking afterwards. And Lauren Ab, I know her name's Lauren, saying, you love my earrings. Great to hear all about that, Simone. Lauren saying as well. Nice. All right, Becca, you're coming in, sister. You found some baubles.
I found this sticker on a bottle of essential oils in my bedroom. Oh, it's so Christmassy. And these are on the tree.
Great.
And some sequins. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, we just before the live, we were just all on just making sure everything worked. And Rebecca arrived, and Simone and I obviously showed up to show up, and Becca was just showing up.
Yeah, I'd just eaten a plate of mashed potato because I was a bit hungover today. So treated myself to a little plate of mashed potato before we did this.
You go wild. So, Becca, how have you been?
I've been very well, thanks, Blanc. Very busy. I'm very ready for a break.
Very ready for a break.
Yeah. And actually, today we sent out some screen prints. So I worked with an artist called Katrina Wild, who's a fantastic artist here in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, we should probably, before you go any further, Rebecca is based up in Stoke-on-Trent. She's one of the what are you, like a directors of Portland Inn project?
Yeah, I'm one of the directors of the Portland Inn project, INN, because it's an old pub building that we're renovating. Yes. So that's a big project for me.
And performer.
Yeah, and
okay.
And an old friend of yours, Sarah Blanc.
And an old friend of mine.
Telling someone recently how we met. Do you remember?
Of course I do. It's the night I met my husband.
Yeah, at Bethnal Green Working Men's Club on the dance floor, and I fell in love with you. I thought you were amazing.
And I fell in love with you, and I was like, and my Sam lived with Becca, so I was like, I need to be best friends with Becca, so I'll just get with Sam to be friends with Becca. And here we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
Anyway, I interrupted you. You did an amazing project with an artist called, I forgot the name,
Katrina Wild. So she screen printed some textiles recently. So I illustrated this thing called Art Career Snakes and Ladders in response to a project called Artists Make Change, supported by AN, who are the Artist Council. Yeah, there you go. You've got cards. Yeah. There we go. The publication cards. They were an output from the project.
Output, participation, all the keywords you say in Art Council.
So participatory.
Engagement.
So engaged. No. Anyway, so yeah, we did the provocation cards that you've got there, which is lovely. And then the Art Career Snakes and Ladders, which was really, it's about playing the game of being an artist, paying rent, surviving, winning awards, not winning awards, surviving, eating mashed potato, finding baubles on your tree and putting them in your ears, doing YouTube videos.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it.
So Katrina's done a beautiful job of screen printing this lovely 2-colour print. And then Dina, who's a local seamstress, she's done beautifully hemmed it. And we sent those out today to people. So that's very nice. And then just kind of wrapping up a few things before Crimbo.
These cards, should we talk about them a bit?
Yeah, so basically Artists Make Change was a whole program of artist discussions and debates, so where artists would sort of talk to one another about their practice and whether or not they felt like artists make change and what kind of change artists make. And there's some really amazing artists, including Array Collective that just won Turner Prize, Lubaina Himid, who has got a show at Tate, Barbie Asante, who's an amazing artist in London. Just anyway, loads and loads of fantastic artists sharing their thoughts on that. And then I was asked to respond. To evaluate the project. And I was like, to be honest, I'm not really an evaluator. So I just did a load of illustrations in response to it and went a bit wild, like did about 70 illustrations.
Amazing.
And yeah, my front room looked like the guy, you know, in Beautiful Mind, where he's just doing loads of mathematics equations all over the windows. It was like that, but illustrations in response to artists making change. So, you know, I've got a beautiful mind. What can I say?
Of course. Oh, here she goes. So we just did a show recently. I'm going to tell that story. Is that okay? We're doing a show called Fantiques Roadshow, which is a satirical take on Antiques Roadshow. And Becca, there's 3 of us in it, Morven, Mulgrew, Becca, myself. And as we are making the show, me and Morven are trying to be... Becca loves what you call in the theatre a court. She'll just start laughing halfway through the show. And we're like, gotta be professional, Becca. You can't laugh at yourself in the show. And Becca's just like, but I just keep surprising myself. I'm just finding myself so funny. I just kept laughing at herself. I love it. It's true. Beautiful mind. Hilarious.
But I also find it very difficult working with you because you're so funny and Morven. So it is, you know, and you know, the audience loves that, you know, they love that.
They love when you come on, like really, you know, part of it, like you know, you're really, God, yeah, that makes no sense. What I mean is, they like when you are like, you come out of it. They do like that a little bit. They do.
Yeah, it's like you know, breaking the fourth wall.
Fourth wall who? I don't know her. Here's one of the provocation cards. An art worker representative in every ward. What do you think?
Yeah, so that was I can't remember, was it Lena Simic?
And Tim Jeeves.
Yeah, Tim Jeeves had a discussion about artists standing you know, politically, basically, as like councillors or MPs. So that and it is a fantastic provocation in itself.
What are you?
And my response to it was literally to do a drawing of the UK with a load of circles inside the UK, which stand for the different wards across the UK. And that's it. Yeah. So one of my favourites, if you can find it, is the buoy, you know, the like as in not boy, but the buoy that
B-U-O-Y.
B-U-O-Y, Bob's on the sea.
Oh dear.
It's in there. It's going to be in there.
Entertain them as I am.
That was one of my favourite illustrations.
So,
yeah, basically, I think it was just, I mean, you know, I think that art's a very special thing in sort of inspiring people and allowing us to sort of dream. But importantly, art gives us hope. And for me, artists do as well. And I think currently in today's climate, but, you know, forever, art's been kind of transporting people to other worlds and giving us some sense of hope. It's sort of that ability to take us off the planet and also root us into the earth as well, whatever that means.
Root us
I'm
into
drunk
the
on mashed potato. What can I say?
I can't find that one. But
Don't worry then.
I'll stick it on. But I think these are great. I mean, especially if you're having especially if you're working in any I don't know, community settings or settings of artists, to take these out and start talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Differently, I think would be great.
That's it. So, because I've been doing a bit of teaching recently, which I've really been enjoying, and sometimes it's just it's nice to kind of perhaps use stimulus like that to kind of provoke discussion. So it's super helpful maybe if you're a student, equally graduate, just an art where conversation dries up at the end of the dinner and you've still got a box of wine to drink.
Well, I know this. The end of at Christmas dinner, I'll be, hey, Mum, I've got a card for you.
Get one out. Just get a random one out for your mum now.
How do you move from me to we? And do you even want to?
When you ask it like that, that's so good. You know, it's just about philosophizing, Sarah, you know?
My mum will be like, would you like some more pavlova, Sarah? I'm like, yeah.
Pavlova. Love it.
Pavlova. That's an Australian dessert, which I thought came from my mum's dessert, but it actually comes from Perth, Australia.
I did not know that.
Fun fact.
Pavlova, does pavlova sound like an Australian word?
Pavlova. Dinkins on the Barbie. No,
sounds like a New York pavlova.
Pavlova.
Oh, I watched Working Girl at the weekend. It was fantastic. Reminder of how great films can be and how fantastic women are. Working Girl. One of the best lines is where she says, I've got a head for business and a bod for sin. God. But yeah.
That's my motto. I walk into a room and that's what I just say to everybody. Into an interview, I just go, bam. You want to say something?
Just a little update on the Portland In project. Are you interested in that at all?
Let me just check my cards. Change is a spectrum. Yes, I am.
So we've been doing. So resident Nana, has been doing some winter cookouts on the street. We're a community-based arts organisation where residents are kind of at the heart of the decision making, basically. So it's not just about renovating an old pub. And so recently, residents have kind of been leading on some of the activity, and Nana proposed to do these winter cookouts, which is just getting a fire on the street, cooking over the fire. It's very lovely. Community Ken loves it because he's a total pyromaniac.
It's amazing watching all of I've worked so much up there, and it is incredible, the community, and watching all the videos. You should follow the Instagram and you can see all the activity happen, and it's real activity, not like that other person. I forgot her name. Sophie.
It's so very problematic, that woman that pretended that she had cancer.
Very problematic. Shall I bring Simone in? Simone, are you ready to join us?
Definitely.
Yeah. In you come. Squeeze in there. Ooh.
Nice to be in the sandwich.
We're the bread. You're the filling, Becca.
What's the filling then? What filling am I? Cheesy or meaty or?
You're definitely meaty.
Yeah.
Salami.
Spicy meaty.
Spicy meaty. Lovely. My dad on Boxing Day has been known to make a Bombay mix sandwich. Crunchy. Spicy. Not meaty. But I recommend it because it's sometimes nice having that little texture, isn't it, in between butter and bread.
I love a crisp sandwich. I love
Mm.
like a salt and vinegar crisp sandwich.
Oh, a crunchy. I don't know what a Bombay sandwich is. What is that?
Bombay
So
mix.
Bombay mix is like a snack, and you get like lots of different types of mix from India.
Ah, okay. You're putting the Bombay like snacks inside the sandwich. Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Oh, yum. That's very good.
And the
Yeah.
butter melt with the grease of the Bombay mix would be nice.
Oh, yum. Oh,
Taking you
dear.
right there, Becca. Taking you right there back to the crunch.
I was going to say on the update, Pavlova, and whether it's actually Australian. So there's a whole battle about whether it is or not New Zealand that first created a pavlova or whether it's Australia.
Ah,
But it doesn't totally sound like the most. I mean, I guess it depends how you say it. Like pavlova sounds quite Australian, but in terms of its, it's not a kind of one syllable word, which would be more quintessentially Australian.
yeah.
But yeah, I think so there's a battle, but I still, it's one of my favorite desserts. I feel like it's the best, most
Simone,
yummy dessert.
I love that you describe the pavlova battle like it was like Agincourt. And on the one side, you've got people saying pavlova was ours, and on the other side, you're saying no, the pavlova was not ours, but bread and butter pudding was.
Yeah. So true.
And
it's a big deal.
What weapons did they use in the Battle of Pavlova?
Splades. They were fighting with splades. Sharpest of tools. Cutting down, getting it really like nasty on the splade. Spoon. You know what a splade is, right?
Whoa!
Yeah. It's like a flat spoon, isn't it? Is it?
It's a cross between like a fork and a spoon thing. It's like a blade, but it's like this. I guess maybe it's also quintessentially Australian. Yeah, like a spork, but it's kind of got rounded edges, and anyway, it could cut through stuff. It's quite good, but nothing hard. It's a good dessert utensil, and there's probably a battle about who owns that as well. So they were fighting with tools that weren't even their own. But yeah, it's a ridiculous, ridiculous battle.
I don't know if you've heard about the custard battles that took place down in Cornwall in the 1600s.
No. Please enlighten me.
Oh, it was between Devon and Cornwall claiming who brought custard into the world. And this medieval battle just went on for days, didn't it, Sarah?
I don't know. It's your history. I was busy over real battles of religion and crucifying lots of people. That's in Ireland we do it properly, do battles properly. Unfortunately, terrorism, bombs. You have your cream and you have your pavlova and your spades.
Exactly. The weakest of tools. Nothing's going on. Rebecca, I want to know more about the Portland Inn project. Like what stages are things at in terms of, it getting...
Yes. So we've been working with an architect for about 5 years now, and for about a year of that, there were quite intensive sort of like, we set up like an architecture summer school for the kids and all these different ways of kind of trying to figure out with residents what the building would be used for. But then like over the last few years, we've been kind of prioritizing more sort of strengthening our organization. So yeah, it's kind of like residents, artists. We work from an adapted shipping container at the moment, which like Youth Club kind of owns. They love it. And then we have a women's group called SMUT, Singles and Mothers Unite Together.
That's great.
And we've just got, lots of kind of different sort of activities over the year. But and skills development is quite an important part of it as well. So we developed the Pigeon Ridge Tile, which is this ceramic product, and it's a ridge tile that can go on your roof. And it's like you get gargoyles and things like that, but we wanted to do a pigeon, which is kind of our mascot. So yeah, it's been really amazing. But yeah, we've been going for 5 years now, and I am looking forward to what next year holds, where we start renovating the building and making it into this beautiful artwork. That would be great if we had like, we're going to have a stage in there just for Sarah Blanc, the Sarah Blanc stage. Yeah.
You should call it. Yeah, that's great. I'll come and cut.
Simone, do you want to sponsor something in the building? What do you want your name on? A step or a tap?
Exactly. A tap would be gorgeous, actually, or a loo seat, if that's possible. When people lift it up, there's the name.
Your face.
Yeah.
It's me that educated everybody about the pavlova butter.
Can it please be in those blue? Can it please be my face in one of those blue, you know, those like historic blue tiles that are on buildings, but it's like, but in the frame of the historical moment that, you know, it deserves. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome that the building's going to have like all this revamping, because it sounds like so many people are using it. Like it'll be even more.
It will be, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then I just got my key for my pound house, so I'm going to be moving into the neighbourhood in New Year as well. So come and visit, Simone.
Well, I love Stoke-on-Trent because I've got so many friends who are in Manchester now, but originally from Stokey, or are doing community projects in Stoke-on-Trent. So I actually have been through about 150 times, but never actually stayed because I haven't had anyone invite me. You know, I've just been waiting for that invitation.
There we go. There, that's your invitation.
Yeah,
the kids love Instagram on the Portland Inn. They could do their own project, create their own Simone-led online social media project.
Oh,
fantastic.
So cool.
Yeah.
Is that where you two also did your Antiques Roadshow thing together at that venue? Yeah.
And also down here in Walthamstow.
Yeah.
I'm also a massive fan of Antiques Roadshow and just think it's the best show. It's such a good show to watch as well if you like ever want. I feel like it's a good like unwinding show, but it's a great drinking show.
How?
What do you mean? Yeah.
So you've got to bet how much you think the item's worth, and whether you think it's genuine or fake, and then you put all your bets through, and then whoever obviously is the furthest has to keep drinking. But then you just keep drinking every time they're like, every time I feel like, oh yes, now this one, and I'm like, okay, we've got to have a drink. It's like every time. I just feel like it always surprises me every time I watch that show. Things that I'm like, this is worth nothing, and then it's like £3,000 for this tiny small button.
3 shots. Let's go.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
We should talk about me and Simone met through Justin. Rebecca, do you remember Justin? Have you met Justin? You probably, I think you've definitely been on a night out together. He's like a performance maker, director as well. He's gone back to Australia. He's always in his faux fur or sometimes real fur coat. Anyway, that's how we met. Me and Simone met.
Oh, lovely.
That's that story. I just thought we should say.
We should, and he's
quite good, that story. It's quite good, isn't it?
Well, look, we tried to meet, and then we didn't meet, and then Justin came back, and then we met, and then here we are now.
I know, and now he's gone. Good riddance. This is the thing. No, I love him. He's going to come back very soon. But he's such a great person. When you meet him again, Rebecca, when he comes back, you'll get to have another hangout with him. He's just like a very good person at bringing people together, and so fun on a night out. He's got he's definitely got the juice to make a very fun, festive event. So yeah, he's lots of fun to hang out with. But he's good creative too. He's good. Didn't he direct your show, Sarah?
Yeah, he came on History of Ireland and directed it. And he also came home, most importantly, to Ireland. He came to Waterford, to Ireland for my hen do. He came home.
The infamous hen do. I heard about this hen do through Justin, actually. It sounded so good.
The London one was wild, but we shall not talk about that on the YouTubes. Friends, it's 40 minutes. We should probably wrap this up. Usually I know we have some questions like would you rather, but I've not prepped them, so I can't do that. But maybe I'll do some random ones. Would you rather No, I can't think of any. Brain's not working. So that was great. I was like, do you want to be Rudolph or Prancer? And I was like, Sarah, that's not really a good question. How about you leave it? But look, thank you both so much for joining me tonight. Both of you, like, will you come on? And you both came on. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this and you want to know all about these people, I'll put all their stuff down in the box. And also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like this video. Liking the video is really good as well, because it means it pops it up in the algorithms. But Merry Christmas, both of you. Have the best Christmas, and I'll see you both in the new year. For
Merry
sure.
Christmas.
Yeah, Mezi Blancmas. Thank you so much.
Mezi Blancmas. Yes, Blancmas. Love you both. Speak to you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
You guys stay